Hello ladies and gents, my name is PepperBelly, bringing you guys another Interstellar Marines overview. This time I'm going to be going a little bit more in-depth with the actual crouching system, because I kind of was a little vague in my last video, saying that it's pretty much this two-stage crouching process where you're able to choose different heights that you can peek over cover at, and it actually goes a little bit more in-depth than that, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys exactly what it is I am talking about. So I'm going to run down in behind some cover. I can showcase what it is I'm referring to. So, the crouching system. Once you are stationary or not moving, you can see this is the lowest possible profile I can attain. If I start to move, he'll raise his stance slightly. This is because, obviously, in real life, you kind of need to, unless you do some really crazy technique, which I have seen, you're going to have to raise your body slightly just so you can actually move your feet underneath yourself. So, it makes sense how that's actually part of it, how they have this in it, where if you're moving around, your stance will kind of raise. But if you're stationary, maximum low profile in the crouching position. So what I was referring to in the last video when I said that there's two different kind of stages, it's basically when you hold down the shift and space key, so jumping and the sprinting key, whichever one is yours by default. Obviously standard generic shooters have shift and space. So how it works in this particular game, shift will attain the lowest possible peak. So you'll see me, I'll be behind cover here, I'll press shift, it'll just barely kind of peek my head over cover. So if I have really low cover, it's ideal for maximum protection, but allowing me to see just over top. If I hold down the space key, it makes me peek even higher, so I can see right over top of the cover more clearly, and I can actually kind of look down, you see the camera will rotate backwards, allowing me to kind of see over cover better. If I aim down my sights, it'll automatically peek me over at a fairly high height, not the highest. It'll peak me at the space bar highest, so I guess you could say like stage 3. So if this was stage 1, which would be shift key, this would be stage 2, and if you hold shift and space together, it'll maximize your height at stage 3, which gives you like the maximum possible height that you can aim at. So you can actually be aiming down your sights, hold down shift, and you'll peak just a little bit higher, as you can see behind that cover. Example here is if I go and measure it up against a fence, for example, or some kind of railing. If I go right up against it, make the tip of my visor touch it, if I hold down shift, you'll see it goes up slightly. If I hold down space, this is stage 2, brings me up a little bit higher where my thumb is touching the bottom rail, and if I press shift and space, it'll bring me up even higher so that my thumb is actually touching the top rail. It's just a little bit of a difference. Doesn't matter which order you do it in, like holding shift and space makes you go up, doesn't make it any higher than space and shift. Holding both will maximize the same height, which is the maximum high profile shooting stance you can attain, and this is the lowest. So you can see it's a little bit more dynamic than most crouching systems. That's pretty much just simplifying it like crazy, but that's just what I was referring to, because playing some matches, I was actually playing on evacuation, I was hiding behind railings like this, shooting at targets below, and being able to kind of adjust your height and scan the horizon and pick off targets and shoot at them effectively was pretty damn neat. And I thought this crouching system is definitely something that this game has going for it. It's actually very well. It almost makes it seem like prone is completely unnecessary unless you're playing in super open, expansive environments, but even then, I don't really see the point. It's not necessary. It would be nice to have, but considering the type of game this is, I wouldn't really see prone being an absolute must. Considering this is a tactical shooter and it's not like the Rainbow Six games where it's you need to get proned, because I mean most of the time you would never even prone in that game. But anyway, that's pretty much the crouching system in a nutshell. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. My name is PepperBelly. Thank you for joining me again on this quick overview. See you guys on the next one.